You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect our roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before I get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest back from retirement. Brent Humpherys is in the house. Welcome, Brent.
Ron, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Back from retirement.
Well, it's either a repeat offender or back from retirement. I don't know. You know, it's early in the morning here in SoCal, actually, for our friends on KMET, our new affiliate broadcasting in the 6 p.m. hour, ABC Talk. Hey, how about it? Maybe it's martini time. So I just share this with you. I must broadcast early in the morning because, no, I'm not an alcoholic. Some people think so. But, you know, with martini time, we don't want to, we'll be listening. We're chatting right then. In any event, I do digress. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, it is a day that ends in Y, so we are celebrating on Ron Siegel Radio. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Today, now, I you know, when you celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio, you have to really be careful of what you're celebrating, because I look at the celebrations each day, and my production team puts them in front of me, and today, I don't know if we could even go here with this, Brent, because...
Oh, wow.
You ready for this one? It's National Tape Measure Day. As a professional real estate person, I'm sure that you are very familiar. Although maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't use tape measures anymore. Maybe there's something that's a little more electronic than that. But then we go, it's National Mac and Cheese Day today. I like that one. Having beaten anorexia, I would go with National Mac and Cheese Day today. It is also, the next two kind of tie together, because if you're ready for this, it is National Grand Marnier Day, which could lead into National Nude Day. I don't know, but it's both National Grand Marnier and National Nude Day. I will leave that to your imagination. Also watching the markets for you today. What a whipsaw we've been seeing in the markets lately. So yesterday, the markets were up about 2.5% as measured by the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And then the news came out from Governor Newsom that he was shutting down the state of California. Now, I do have a resolution for any of you that are concerned about the state of California shutdown, because there is an exception. That, you know how in the government they always put these little loopholes in there for their friends, their family. Like, you know, the government not shutting down wineries in Napa because that's where he owns his. I digress. So the market was down about 2.5 points, and it ends up, I was up about 2.5 points. Then after the announcement, it comes down about a point, 1%. Today, we're back up at 225 points. We were down a bit. Now we're up 225 points. The S&P 500 up 6.8. NASDAQ always goes up, but right now it took a breather, down 34.5. Oil up 37 cents per barrel. And the 10-year Treasury is down just a little bit, but I did look before we came on air, and the mortgage-backed security bonds, those are way up. So with those being way up, that means interest rates are favorable right now for most people who are contemplating a new home, a new refinance, anything along those lines. Although I share this with you all the time, strategy beats rate every single time. There are no exceptions. Strategy beats rate every time. Let's continue. Oh, yeah, maybe I should tell you before we continue too far, what is the loophole in the governor's shutdown? Because if you look at what they call essential businesses, and I think the governor put in 17 essential businesses, obviously radio being one of them, real estate is one of them, finance, our lending team is up and running. But if you look about halfway down the list of essential services, the governor very plainly puts in there protests. So the fact that my wife protests my cooking does allow us to go out for dinner each night, because if the restaurant is stopped, all she has to do is say, hey, you know something, have you ever tasted his food? I protest. And that protest should be an example right there. It should cover us for going out to eat. If you want to make sure that's true, come on over. I will cook for you. Sometimes I'm able to make water, sometimes hot water. I can usually get cold water is probably okay because I go to the refrigerator outside and Walmart has delivered a case of water for me. Yes, I don't go to the Walmart store. I'm lazy. I admit it. They come and deliver right to the house. So I can handle cold water. I've burnt hot water in the past, so I could probably do that again. I could burn it one more time. So protests, they are allowed. So although, maybe that's what causes the uptick in the coronavirus, right? Because on July 4th, our organization was not allowed to have a fireworks celebration, but the protesters were allowed to be out. Memorial Day, we weren't able to go to the beach, but the protesters could. Just wonder how this all works. What qualifies us as a protest organization? You know how much money it would save our organization? And I'll just throw this out there because we are a nonprofit group. We do an event here in North Orange County for the 4th of July. The entire day's activities cost about $140,000. You've got to have permits. You've got to have security, you've got to have insurance, you've got to have all these things. And then that doesn't even count the cost of fireworks at $1,000 a minute, right? But if I have a protest, I don't have to have a permit. I don't have to have the police department. The city provides that free of charge. The fire department comes free of charge, unless we put those K-rails out and call it a chop zone or something like that. Then you don't even have to have any of those things, right? And that's just the way it is. So maybe next year, maybe we should be looking at calling our July 4th celebration a July 4th protest. I don't know what we'd be protesting because we do live in the greatest country in the world, even though some of these people want to tell us we don't. Moving right along. Talk about a difference of worlds. Now, Brent Humpherys, our guest today, he comes to us from northern San Diego County. I am sitting in northern Orange County. In Brent's case, San Diego says public schools will remain online only when they reopen in the fall. On the other side of us here in Orange County, Los Angeles says LA Unified is the county's second largest, and two combined county areas there. LA County, they're going to be closed. No school, online only. Orange County, go to school, kids. You need to be educated. Interesting. So the kids can go to school. They need to be educated. In Orange County, no masks, no social distancing. If you've got an elderly teacher, not a problem. Just go to school. Get educated. Quit getting behind. Just a fascinating way things are going in different directions. I listened to the world famous Dr. Ben Carson. He said we should learn from the past. When we closed down the economy, it nearly crippled us. If we keep doing it over and over again, it will probably cripple us again and get worse and worse. And did we see any benefit from closing down the economy for so long? They're telling us now the pandemic is even worse than it was before. So closing hasn't helped. I question masks, even though I do provide a lot of masks to hundreds of thousands of masks to people right now. So if a mask works, why can't I go to the restaurant? And if it doesn't work, why do I need to wear the mask? I just throw that out there for your consideration. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got some great information from our friend Brent Humpherys, what to expect when selling during the coronavirus era. What are experts saying about home prices? The extra $600 unemployment, it's ending. What you need to know, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Tides that I tried to swim against.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call again, 800-306-1990 or mysocallender.com. mysocallender.com is the new site that we've set up. And I shared this with you before. What is the situation? What did you learn during the COVID shutdown? That was a question asked by Mark Cuban. mysocallender.com is part of what we've done during the shutdown. We've set this up to help you out. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 295 points. The NASDAQ is now up 8.74. I told you it never goes down. Yes, I know that's just rhetorical. Don't go sending me comments, and I don't want to get in trouble with all the regulators. It does go down. Just don't get excited. S&P 500 now up 12.55. Mortgage-backed securities up 27 basis points. That means that is some good news. We like it when those go up. Oh, not that one, guys. We like it when it goes up because it saves you money. That's the idea. It's saving you money. Question today, though, should I refi or should I stay? That is part of the information in our daily update because all those numbers that I gave you already, you know it as well as I do that you can get that on the super secret website. Yes, indeed, google.com. So the question mark, and you know, I told you last week that the bond market was saying that the stock market is too high, and I just got a blurb come across my screen saying Mohammed El Arian says stop buying stocks. They are decoupled from reality. And he is a world-famous investor. He and Bill Gross have run bond funds for 100 years. So here's some of the information as to why the markets are doing what they are. Our friend Lacey Hunt had an interesting read on the economic challenges the world is facing. Synchronicity is a big issue, meaning that unlike other world recessions that are a bit spottier, in this case, 93% of the world countries are in recession, meaning there is no country to lead us out. This typically results in a longer and deeper recession. Additionally, countries have incurred a huge amount of debt to combat the pandemic. Debt is now 260% of GDP, with each dollar of debt generating only 38.5 cents. This shows diminishing returns and has a big downward pressure on the velocity of money. This also applies downward pressure to interest rates. Did you hear that? Downward pressure on interest rates. CPI, which measures inflation on the consumer level, came in at 0.6% in the month of June. The year-over-year reading increased from 0.1 to 0.6. Gas rose 12.3% last month, which was a big reason for the gain, probably here in Calizuela. Gas is up even more than that. The Aspen Institute reported that out of 110 million people living in rented households, 1/5 or 23 million could be evicted by the end of September for rent due in August. 31% already know they probably won't be able to make the payment. Now, when we saw that number come out the other day, it was 38% of the people are behind. And it was a bit of a misleading number because it talked about mortgages also. And mortgages are not even due yet. So how do you know they're behind? I just throw that out there for you to maybe you can help me out with that. That's the Mortgage Minute. Again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. Just give me a call. Our friend Brent Humpherys is back from his long-term sabbatical from Ron Siegel Radio. I guess my deodorant wasn't working or something. And Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates, is our guest this morning. He is a great real estate professional. He has a Tesla, so he doesn't worry about those gas prices. And he covers all from Brent is probably we can call Brent the Jerry Dunphy of real estate. And for those that are not old enough to remember Jerry Dunphy, from the desert to the sea to all of Southern California, we've got Brent Humpherys. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, thank you. And thank you for telling me who Jerry Humphrey is because I was about to Google it. So apparently I'm not old enough to know that.
Oh, thanks, pal. I appreciate that. Dunphy, not Dunphy. I said it wrong the first time. Dunphy. Okay, so Tell me what's going on in real estate these days. Is there anything new? Is it just another spring selling season?
The real estate market right now is absolutely nuts. When COVID first hit, I did a quick search in Carlsbad, where I am right now and where I live and where I'm based. We had a reduction of listings by 62%. So imagine 6.2 out of every 10 sellers.
You just said 62? You said 62?
62% reduction in listings.
Wow.
People literally took their home off the market because if we're in a pandemic and we're all getting sick, who wants strangers coming through their home? And so I did a search to see, because each month I look forward to this report from Fast Stats from 10K Research, and it shows area by area. So you can pick a zip code, you can pick detached home or attached, like a condo or townhome, and you can look at year to date and you can look at year over year. So the June report just came out, and it was fascinating to see what's happening. So when COVID hit, in areas that I sampled, anywhere from 42 to 62% reduction in listings. The first takeaway from this, Ron, is that if you're a seller and you're on the market, a ton of your competition just disappeared. And so if you have a stable supply of buyers, suddenly you're going to get bidding wars, you're going to get increased competition. But we've had really what's a perfect storm, because you spoke of it earlier, and this is what you do, residential lending. And if you have historically low interest rates, I just went to bankrate.com and looked, 2.98, I think it was, to 3.03%, 30-year fixed, VA versus, conventional. Again, that's not a rate quote, but all of a sudden, all these buyers that weren't in the market are now here. My phones are ringing off the hook. Everything's muted for the broadcast, but people want to buy property. And so if you have a sudden shrinkage of supply and an expansion of buyers and demand, properties are moving very, very fast.
And you know something, I know you well enough to know part of what is driving that, because we had some folks from Realty Pro 100 on yesterday, and they said the same thing is going on in North Orange County. And one of the things that we're seeing is the properties that are listed by professionals who have a internet strategy and professional method of building a photo library and a home tour. That we're seeing in North Orange County is a big issue. Are you seeing the same thing?
We are. Yeah, absolutely. And, when we're listing properties, we're on ListHub and ListHub Global. We're in 60 plus countries and over 100 websites. And it's fascinating because, you get these leads in the middle of the night. The phone numbers are like 30 digits long. Like, where is this coming from? But they're looking for property in California. They really are. And there are some people that are purchasing. Yeah.
In Venezuela, they actually look for California just because they realize they're used to the same governmental system.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to ask you to go into that.
No doubt.
I won't ask you to get into that part of it, Brent.
Last week, Ron.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Last week, I started my 20th year in the business. I had my birthday cake, as I do each year, with the 19 on it for finishing 19 years. And I will tell you, I'm now in my 20th year, and every seller that I have ever met, interacted with, worked with, had discussions with, has always wanted at least 4 things. And if you are thinking of selling your home during COVID, the intention of the broadcast is not, oh, call me, let's drum up business. Business is on fire. It's intended to be informational, that if you're thinking about whether now is a good time or not, there are many reasons why it is. Yeah.
So you're saying the sellers want 4 things?
Well, they want many things, but 4 common denominators with every seller are a faster sale.
Wait a second. We're going to have to stand by to get that information, because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. And Brent is going to share those 4 things that are the primary items that everybody wants, and what experts are saying about home prices. We'll talk about that. Extra $600 unemployment is ending. We'll talk about that. And you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564, SLT Home Digest 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. What are experts saying about home prices? Now, I'm going to share this with you because this is a story of interest. It is a national story. But I will tell you to remember my friend Jim Doty, the President Emeritus of Chapman University. He's been doing an economic forecast. It's rated as the one tied for number one best forecast in the United States year after year, economic forecast. The Doty rule is that economists that say they have a 40% accuracy are basically telling you they know absolutely nothing. So the question here is, what are the experts saying about home prices? And I'm going to give you this information. last week, a very well-respected real estate analytics firm, surprised many with their home price projection for the next 12 months. CoreLogic, in their latest home price index, said, and I quote, "The economic downturn that started in March 2020 is predicted to cause a 6.6% drop, 6.6% drop in the HPI by May 2021, which would be the first decrease in annual home prices in over 9 years," unquote. Oh, I think the forecast was surprising as it was strikingly different from any other projections by major easy for me to say, analysts. 6 of the other 8 forecasts call for appreciation. Appreciation. I'm going to show you the chart if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv or our friends on the KMET broadcast on their TV version as well. Again, the forecast was surprising as all these other forecasters seem to have a different opinion. 6 of the other 8 forecasts call for appreciation, and the 2 who project depreciation indicate it will be 1% or less. So you've got the graph there right now. CoreLogic at 6.6 negative. Mortgage Bankers Association at 4% positive. National Association of Realtors 3.8% positive. Zelman & Associates 3% positive. Reuters 3%. Freddie Mac 2.3%. Fannie Mae 4%. Simple formula to determine the future price of any item. Calculate the supply of that item in ratio to the demand for that item. In housing right now, demand far exceeds supply. Last week, mortgage applications to buy a home were 33% higher than they were at the same time last year. The available inventory of homes for sale is 31% lower than it was last year. Normally, these numbers should call for homes to continue to appreciate. Bottom line, because of the uncertainty with the pandemic, any economic prediction is extremely difficult. However, looking at the limited supply of homes for sale and the tremendous demand for housing, it is difficult to disagree with the majority of analysts who are calling for price appreciation. And I will share with you these numbers are national numbers. So as I always say, I give you the national numbers, but I bring on some experts to go and chat with us and give us the idea about what's happening in the local market. Brent, what do you think about the report? Is CoreLogic right, or is everybody else right?
Well, my view is that we're going to see a softening of pricing. I really believe that. So I don't know if it's going to be 6. I don't know if it's going to be 6.6, but when you have 40 million Americans unemployed, when you have civil unrest, you have a major political election coming up. When people are upset or anxious, they tend to hold back from very large decisions that affect their lives.
So you're talking there about an analytical perspective, right? But the one thing that I'm curious about is how do you square that with you having just told us in the last segment that the amount of homes are down so much and people are still out shopping?
Yeah. Well, you set it up perfectly. It's as if we're privately chatting. This is excellent. So there are 4 things that every seller I've ever interacted with and spoken with wants. They want a faster sale. They want more money. They want a reduction of looky-loos or unqualified people, traffic coming through their home, non-serious people. And they want mitigated life interruptions. They want streamlined appointments where everybody shows up about the same time, where they're not constantly having to keep the home clean. The reason that I believe that we're going to see a softening in the real estate market, and yet it's on fire right now, and I'm almost skipping meals just to field all the calls and be responsive.
I've never skipped a meal.
Well, when you said it was National Mac and Cheese Day, that sounded really, really good. What's happening right now is that because so many people took their home off the market due to COVID-19 and interest rates are so low, you've got a reduction of supply and you've got an expansion of demand. And so there's this disequilibrium that's happening, and everybody's trying to gobble up homes. But at the end of the day, at some point, interest rates are going to go back up, more homes are going to come on, and I think that we're going to see a more normal market. I looked at Carlsbad simply because I can't look at every zip code in the country. There's not enough time, although spending the day with you would be fun. And what I was seeing was 62% right after COVID. And then I saw 34%. And then I saw between 20 and 23% based upon where I was looking.
I'm a simple guy. You were talking about those numbers, though, in the last segment, and I've got a very, very short attention span. So 66, 33, and 21 is what?
Percentage of inventory on the market. I'm sorry, reduction in inventory. So if you went from 62% of homes were taken off the market, and now year over year, for June, we're around 20%. You can tell that more people are finally getting around to putting their homes back on the market. As you get more homes on the market, buyers have more choices. Therefore, bidding wars start to reduce because buyers say, hey, there's a home down the street, same floor plan. But if you've got nothing on the market, the buyers are going to be paying top dollar because they don't have anything else to buy. I mean, there are still people moving around the country. Humpherys Homes and Estates is privileged to be on a number of relocation company lists. And so there are certain companies where people call and I immediately know where they work, and they're moving in and out of San Diego County or Orange County or Los Angeles. These people are still moving in and out, even in a pandemic. And so business will still take place. If people are moving and they need a home to purchase and there's not a lot for sale, they're going to pay a premium. But as inventory starts to rise, the market tends to get more normal. What startles me about what you said about the national study with inventory being down 31% is we're in the middle of July. Tomorrow will be smack dab in the middle. And that's when you typically have a lot of inventory because 25% or so of Californians move each year. And when do? They do it when the kids are out of school. So it's surprising.
So you're forecasting that the demand will diminish as supply continues to come online, and that's what could cause a softening of prices.
Well, I think the demand will still be there, right? Because supply and demand obviously are two independent things. But I think at the same time that supply expands, that existing demand will be better met, and there'll be more parity between the number of buyers out looking for a home and the number of homes that are actually available for sale. And that will bode well for buyers. That will not bode well for sellers.
Now, just because of our relationship, I know that you focus a huge amount of your time on helping people sell their homes. How is that impacted with the virtual nature of showing homes nowadays? Are you able to help more people, or on the buy side, or are you setting up these virtual showings? And the sellers, the buyer's agents are then coming through and able to take advantage of that?
Well, the answer is both. And thank you for noticing that. Obviously I had the privilege of working with you and your family the last couple of years and moving a couple of properties. And I've always been a bit of a geek. I love technology. I love 360-degree 4K Ultra HD home tours. I love the video tours. I go to the seminars and I sit down with the major website providers and I speak with the engineers and talk to them about how to search analytics and how to rank, how to get. So a couple of weeks ago I had a seller on the market. They had 606 views in the last 24 hours of their property on one of the major websites. But the other home down the street in their neighborhood had 101. I'm a little OCD. I love the factor of 600. It was perfect. 101 times 6 is 606. So what is happening? Am I paying for that visibility, or am I doing certain things to expose listings? I'm doing what I've always done, but COVID is making it even more important. If you have a 3D tour on certain sites, there'll be more people that will interact with that property. They'll see more of the property than your typical agent and your pre-COVID market will show. What I'm seeing in COVID is increased transparency, right? When the governor first made the order about essential service, realtors were not one of them. Then he shifted, and I'm thankful that he did, and real estate was now reclassified as one of the 17 essential services. But the requirement in the governor's order was that realtors do business virtually first, and if there needs to be a physical meeting at a property, then you're allowed to go. So what happens is, in a pre-COVID market, you would, my photographer will come in and take 60 to 70 images, and I'll pick the best of the best to show that home. Not to be misleading, but why photograph the garage and make it default photo number one when you've got cars parked in there and trash bins and all that? What's happening with COVID now is you've got these 360-degree tours of every room in the house, at least you should. And so buyers are looking at everything in the property, not just the shiny parts, but also maybe the poorly lit parts, or the parts with deferred maintenance or whatever. You want a buyer to see everything about that property first before going in person.
Great information, as always, from our friend Brent Humpherys. We're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial market. When we come back, how has financing changed under COVID-19? What effect does that have on showing a property? How have appraisals changed? We're going to talk about all that and more when we come back with Brent Humpherys. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and DRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal DRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunity. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. You just need to make the call or go to the site, creditsanitizer.com. Extra $600 unemployment is ending. What you need to know. Well, here it is. You need to know. I'm going to give you the full report tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to hurt a lot of people who have made the decision that they do not want to go back to work until that benefit is gone. Because I've chatted with a lot of business people. I talk to them all day long. And what they're saying is if you thought you had a job to go back to and you've been saying they've needed you, they've called you, and you haven't gone back because you're getting that extra $600, yeah, that job they're searching for somebody else to take that job right now. And you may not have anything to go back to because you thought of an extra $600. I understand that's meaningful to many people, but that company's labor force is important, and they can't wait for you. They're hiring somebody today, and that job may not be available tomorrow when you say, something, that's what I want. That's Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions. We are chatting this morning. Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates is I guess he's in his home office. We usually get to sit together and chat during the breaks and plan on what we're talking about. Brent and I haven't even had a chance to do that because he's not in the house. We are remote. We do this video bridge. I hope you don't mind it, because I've always been a proponent that radio is much better when we're together. TV is much better when we're together because we are talking over each other. Brent and I haven't done that too much today, but we will make this work as best we can for you. So, Brent, I wanted to ask you, what's going on in the world? And I know you're not the finance guru. That's although you know it, but property access. When you're listing a property, is there anything new that under COVID that we're doing from a finance standpoint with offers?
Yeah, well, first of all, it begins with what's called the PED form, Property Entry and Access Declaration. And this is one of the major reasons that we have had a reduction of looky-loos, right? If someone's walking through a home, they're not just someone that's bored and has a good friend in real estate and they want to tag along with. They've filled out... What?
It's not the nosy neighbor anymore.
Nosy neighbor is gone unless he or she wants to fill out a 7-page document signing and certifying, among other things, that they are in the market to buy a home, that they've been pre-approved with a lender, or if they're paying cash, they've produced proof of funds or POF, and that they will take good precaution to make sure that they're not contaminating the residence. So they'll be wiping down surfaces afterward. In some cases, in fact, in many cases where I've been showing property, there are major additional guidelines posted outside. Think of just these huge, stop, do not enter if type posters. In many cases, they're professionally produced posters. That's a hard thing to say. That you don't, to your knowledge, have COVID-19. You've not been traveling recently. If you have, you've been quarantined. All of those things. And so sellers have a reduction of unqualified showings because everyone that's coming through the home has seen the virtual tour, assuming there is one, and is certified that they're a real, ready, able, and willing buyer, and that they've been pre-approved for a mortgage. And the same is true of appraisers. Anybody that's accessing a property right now should be filling out the property entry and access declaration. Now, many people have asked, well, Brent, you can sell my home, that's fine, and maybe hopefully I'll be very happy with the price, right? There's a lot of uncertainty right now. People are very concerned about what's happening with COVID, but regardless of what price I get them, if the buyer is getting a loan, the appraiser needs to show up. Recently, I had my first call from an appraiser who said, Brent, I got a question for you. I said, what's that? And by the way, when the appraiser calls, you always answer and you be as helpful as you possibly can be. You don't want to make it difficult for them. The question was,
there now, Brent?
Pardon?
Are you able to meet the appraiser there now?
No. Well, I mean, yes, I could, but no, we're doing it virtually. And
Okay.
the story ends with the fact that the appraiser asked one simple question. Are the photos current? And I said, yes, they were taken 3 or 4 weeks ago. And she said, okay, great. I don't have any further questions. What many appraisers are doing now is they're using the professional images for their report so that they don't have to go inside the property. They're doing drive-by appraisals. I've had other appraisers go in, no problem. It's really up to the individual appraiser. I've also heard that, mortgages under $1 million, the appraisers are doing it virtually. Mortgages above $1 million, they're showing up. And that, that's a sample size of one, right? That was one indication I had. Doesn't mean that across the country that's the rule. But
So
more things are moving.
Each appraiser actually there's different guidelines. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have basically come out and given new guidelines for appraisals during COVID-19. And then obviously that's the baseline of what's required. And then after you do that baseline, then it becomes an issue of what kind of overlays might an individual lender or investor put on top of that. And then obviously when you get over $1 million, then you're dealing with portfolio loans. So the investor sets all the rules right there. So that's kind of the difference of why you're seeing some appraisers doing things various ways. It just depends on what the requirement is from that investor or lender.
Yep. No, that makes sense. The key takeaway is that you've got a reduction of inventory, you've got substantially low interest rates, you've got an onslaught of buyer demand of people that want to purchase while rates are low, and you have only qualified traffic coming through your home. I mean, sure, are some people going to be deceptive and fraudulent and sign a coronavirus access declaration? I imagine that there are some bad actors. But you've got to go through an awful lot of hoops to be able to get into a property now. And once you're in contract, you don't have, a physical inspection now or another inspection. Agents know that because they got to go out, well, at least I suspect this is why, because they got to go out and get all of these documents signed. I'm finding the termite inspector and the home inspector coming at the same time, or the appraiser coming when the property's already going to be open. But that's another consideration, because there limits the number of people that can actually be on the property at the same time. And I've seen it where, you've got the in-laws, and the parents and the kids, you got 2 or 3 generations with certain families all wanting to look. Okay, Grandpa, you wait outside. I'm going to run in. I'll be out in a moment. Grandpa's sitting in the courtyard on the nice patio furniture, and then kid comes running out and Grandpa goes in. It's wild.
Which that's something that we've got to really, really be careful of. And I want to just throw this out there because it's not in any of the documentation that I've seen. If you're going to look at a new house, so you've got mom and dad and the realtor and Johnny's in the back seat, don't leave Johnny in the car while you go inside. Right. It is too hot. It is not safe. Either make arrangements to do this a different way, a different day. Find a babysitter. I know you want to show little Johnny the new house, but remember, safety first. That's why all these rules are in place right now. So just remember, don't leave the kids in the car or unattended while you're going to look at a house. It's not worth that risk. And remember your kids. That's
100% agree.
Yeah, and I mean, Brent and I have a lot of values that are very, very similar. So. Just be careful there. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, if you'd like me to put you in touch with my friend Brent Humpherys, yes, he has sold properties for me. Just give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Lights go out and I can't be seen. Tides that I tried to swim